Let's look at a few key points on stretching the hamstrings. So the hamstrings are a group of muscles that attach from the back of your hip all the way to your calf. And so they run the entire length of the thigh, or the entire length of the back of the thigh. It's the muscle group that retracts the foot, and retracts the leg. It's a very common muscle to pull, and it usually gets injured because hamstrings tend to be very tight and people don't like to stretch them very much. Some of the key points that I want to go over today is how to position your legs so you can get the maximum result in your stretch. Okay, so the two main key points is my waist position and my foot position. Okay, waist position means the position relative to the rest of my thigh. Okay, what I want, the goal is to have my hip at a 90-degree angle, right? A 90-degree angle with the leg. Okay. What often happens in a hamstring stretch is you'll have one leg in, the hips are kind of open and you stretch, and you still feel the hamstring stretch, but you don't get all the muscle groups, okay? With my hip back and stretching, I actually get the inside groups of my hamstrings and I don't get the outside groups. But if I have my hip squared out at a 90-degree angle, right? Doesn't really matter where my foot is as long as my hip's at a 90-degree angle, then I get the outside group as well, okay? Because there's an outside group of hamstring muscles as well. So by doing this, I'm being much more efficient. I can get all the muscle groups at once. The next thing that I can look at is the position of my foot, right? Once my hip is in a reasonable position and I'm forward, the position of my foot will make a big difference as well. See, if I turn my foot to the outside, I'm actually putting a lot less pressure on this outside group. And so when I stretch, I'm not really feeling it stretch that much. Right? If I have it straight, I have all three of them. And also if I turn it in, I actually have the outside group a little bit more. So a good standard is to have the foot straight and then flex your toes back. That gives you a little extra stretch. Hip squared off with the thigh, and then you want to stretch yourself forward. And that will give you the maximum stretch. And you can really feel it. You should be able to feel that underneath the thigh, throughout the hamstrings and into the calf, right? Especially if you pull those toes back, okay? And the rest of the key points are simple. We can go over them some other time. But first, it's the most important part right now to get is this nice square alignment with the hip and nice square foot. And from here, just try to keep your body straight in the line and roll your body forward. And that's the beginning stages of your hamstring stretch.